Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting in an online call with two guys from Blind Channel. Hi, first of all.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Blind Channel is a kind of alternative new metal band from Finland, I would say. But maybe you can first of all introduce yourself. Who are you and what's your part in the band?
I'm Joel. I'm the lead singer. The other one, Nico, is the other one, and we are Blind Channel from Helsinki, Finland.
And for people who absolutely don't know about you, maybe you can describe what's your music all about and what inspired you to do it.
Our music, we call our music violent pop music. It's definitely alternative rock, but like our influences are in the music of early 2000s where we were huge fans of Linkin Park and bands like that. But we also we love mainstream pop music. We listen to a lot of what's happening in the mainstream music scene, and we kind of combine that sound with our own rock sound, resulting in something we like to call violent pop music.
Oh, that's a cool definition. Never heard that. But I think you are founded at 2013. That's right.
Yeah.
So how exactly started the story? How did you find each other?
We started in high school. We had these rival bands with Jonas, the guitarist, and we were in the same home party where Nico was, and we were metalheads, and Nico was a rap head. So we had this little rivalry thing with each other, and after that, we decided that we need to start a band and create something new with the music that we create. So yeah, that's the long story short.
You should check out we have a music video that we represent how we came together. It's our song called Dead Zone. You can find it on YouTube. And on that music video, you can see everything, how it pretty much happened.
Oh, cool. I will look it up afterwards, after this interview. And maybe if I remember, I will link it in at this place as well, at YouTube.
Cool.
So, and we can't tell the whole story from back then till now, but maybe you can tell at least 2 or 3 important steps in the history of your band. What happened since then?
I think first important steps, like we just started touring, making music. We got a slot from Wacken Open Air back in 2014. After that show, we made our first record deal for 3 albums that we did. It was a small label in Finland, but it got started. And after that, after the 3 albums, COVID hit. And then it was sort of like a breaking point almost like for the band that we decided that we're either gonna stop this or we're gonna break this motherfucker through. And then we made a song called Dark Side and got a new management and a new member. Our DJ percussions guy Alex joined the band. And then things just started happening with Dark Side. We entered this small competition and it went pretty well. And after that, we've been touring. We've been touring for like 2 or 3 years. Now it's been 11 years we've been a band.
A small competition was the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think did this is this something you still want to talk about, or is it more like, okay, we did this, but let's keep it away?
Yeah, I think it's in the past. It's already been 3 years since we entered, and there's been so many things happening after that. So I think it's more necessary to talk about what is happening in the future or right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've talked about it so much.
Yeah,
I can imagine. So this is why I didn't even note a lot about this. So only one question about it: would you do it again?
Of course.
hell no. If they ask us to be like what is this act that plays like in between of the competition, like just for a break or something, we can do that. But as a competition, never again. Never again.
So okay.
Yeah, I think like we're done with all kinds of competitions like that. Like we for the past few years we've been like this more traditional rock band, like putting out albums and music videos and doing big tours. And I think that's what we always wanted to be. Like it was just like the Eurovision Song Contest was more like a shortcut to where we are now. We got bigger like pretty fast. But right now we're just concentrating on being this more traditional of a rock band. It feels good.
And looks good. I had the chance to look up a little bit. As I told you, I did not really know much about you before, but it's really interesting. I listened, for example, yesterday to your last album. It was Lifestyle of the Sick and Dangerous. It's from 2022.
Yeah.
And it was really like as you said, like Linkin Park, like having this stuff. And now you have your new album coming out. It's a few weeks since it's coming. It's Exit Emotions. And to me, Exit Emotions is like being more angry. Feels more angry. Is it just my feeling, or is it really like that?
It is the reality. We wanted to go more into, to the metal scene, and we don't want to be like this cute rock band anymore. We want to go like full in your face with the music, and we love that you feel that it's more heavier than before, because that was our plan from the first place, and it's good to hear that it works for the audience as well.
Yeah, it's like it's the first album we've approached from a live perspective, and that's because between the previous album, Lifestyles of the Sick and Dangerous, and this upcoming album, Exit Emotions, we did over 200 shows in the US and in Europe. And like at the same time we were doing the songwriting and the recording and the production process of the album, we were always on tour. So you can definitely hear that on the songs and on the album. And the way we described it just a couple of days ago is that everything feels heavier now. Like our emotions, our feelings are a lot heavier. And since we write music from our perspective, our experiences as a band, of course, it's gonna affect the music as well. So the music is heavier on the new album. Yeah.
And as it is called Exit Emotions, so what emotions is it all about? What are the core emotions you try to exit?
I think the number one emotion...
All of them.
Yeah, I think the biggest emotion in our case is frustration. And we are really frustrated about many things happening in the world right now as a human being. So yeah, I think that's the key feeling that we talk about and sing about.
We've always, like, since we started the band, I think it's something we're gonna do like until the end of the band, is that we write about things that piss us off, like things that make us very angry. The music is kind of therapy for us, the making songs and also the live shows. There's a huge like therapeutical aspect to that stuff. And like that's the Exit Emotions idea. It has this sort of like uniting vibe that when we're on stage, it's not only about being on stage, but it's being together with the audience and with everyone. And there's just this huge uniting feeling that everybody can just exit emotions for a little while. Like whatever bad things are going on in your life, there's like where we offer the chance to like exit those bad emotions just for a couple of hours, how long the show is, and then just live in the moment for a while. And I think that's something like we discussed about, something that we needed, and it ended up as a concept for our fifth album.
So you really discuss all those lyrics, all those emotions before you put them out and say, okay, this is what we all feel? Or is there someone of you who can say, okay, I have this emotion, I write it down and we put a song on it?
Nico is the number one key person to write the lyrics for the songs, and we feel that he's the best one to do them, and we're super happy to have him in the band to do all the lyrics, because I can relate to the lyrics super well myself. I can say that I have an idea of a song that would tell something about like Rocky Balboa or walking over my dead body or something like that, and Nico can perfectly write down as a perfect lyric about the emotion that I'm talking about. So yeah, I feel that Nico is the perfect guy to write the lyrics for the songs. So yeah.
Thank you. And I also need to mention that even though I do the heavy lifting part with the lyrics, it's important to know that we always write from the band's perspective. It's not my perspective, it's the band's. It's our experience. Like we spend a lot of time together, you know, like where we're always in the same tour bus. So the things we go through together, and that's where the songs come from and the ideas for the song. So it's the band's experiences, definitely.
You're a rather big band with 6 people, is it right?
Yeah, 6 guys.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot of emotions coming together in a tour bus. You can talk and
I think some of the guys are not that emotional that we two are, but there's like more calm persons, and then there's like guys like me and Nico and for example Jonas that are super hot heads in many ways. So it's good that we have the balance between like there's like more cooler guys and harder guys, and I mean emotionally, yeah. I don't know about the looks, but yeah.
I see. And I think it's as you write about negative emotions, but I see you have a sense of humor as well that puts you together.
It's very dark.
Yeah, like definitely there, but I think there needs to be like we've been compared. Like somebody said that we're like Bring Me the Horizon meets Jackass, you know, kind of something like that. And I
Or
think
Backstreet Boys of the metal scene.
yeah, we feel like those are fitting because there is this. We have a very dark sense of humor. That's because we come from Finland, and not even the southern Finland. We come from the north, where it's cold and dark like all the time. And I think our sense of humor is pretty twisted as well. But we like to like in a lot of our songs, like when I make the lyrics, I want to like be able to make people like laugh, even to say something in a way, even though you can say something very dark, but to say it in a way that it makes people smile or laugh. I think that's a fun connection to have with the listeners.
Yeah. And I think it's rather, as you mentioned, in Finland, for example, there are those reports that say Finnish people are the most happy people. And you also have the most dark and most heavy dark scene, goth scene, metal scene. So I think this is somehow something that really inspires the music as well.
Yeah, for sure. There's only 5 million people, and I think 500,000 metal bands. I'm not sure about the numbers, but I get it. So yeah, we are living in the eternal darkness, and also it's super cold. And at the same time, everyone says that we're the happiest country in the world. So it's kind of mixed. I don't feel that it matches. So yeah, there's probably the dark humor is the key how to survive here.
Yeah, the darkness is in our DNA, definitely. And like I don't know where the results for the happiest country in the world are, like no, not or maybe I just happen to know all the sad people in Finland because none of my friends are happy. But like there's a song on the upcoming album Exit Emotions. It's called Wolves in California. We wrote it in Hollywood Hills. We have this crazy studio up there, but even though we go through our experiences like in the US, there's a lot of hype about Finland going on that song. And one of my favorite lines on the favorite lyrics on the new album is from that song, Wolves in California. And the line goes, "The night is darkest just before the dawn, but where I'm from, the sun don't rise at all." And I think that's very fitting to like that shows our mindset perfectly.
I know many people, for example, from Germany that love Scandinavia, but when they see all those short days, long nights and stuff, they say, okay, it's really somehow depressing sometimes. So they don't want to live there, but they love the music and the people.
Yeah,
like
that.
And there's another song that we could mention at this point. I really fell in love with it as I heard it first. It's Happy Doomsday. So maybe you can just tell from your side what it's all about and why the Doomsday is happy at this point.
It's pretty ironic title. Like we are super ironic as a songwriters and as a person. So we kind of wanted to have this song that everyone says that happy birthday or happy something, and we wanted to say Happy Doomsday. It's like we wanted to capture what is going on in the world right now. Like there's tons of war going on and the climate change and everything. So we were like, this is all falling apart. Happy Doomsday to you all. That's what I feel about the song.
Yeah, and I think that's how it started. The song is pretty old. We wrote it like a couple, 2 to 3 years ago, the first demo of the song, and we were in the studio, and it was this kind of week that every day we would go to the studio to try and make something new, write new songs. And all of those days, like something bad happened. Like it could be something like small in a global scale, like our tours getting canceled or stuff like that. But there was also like COVID happening and the lockdowns and all shit was going down. Like, and every day, like the news were just filled with panicking and bad stuff. And then I think it was our guitarist Jonas who came to the studio, and once again something was the world was going to hell, like on the news, and he showed the news, and it was like, once again, happy doomsday to you. And I said, that's actually a pretty good line, and I wrote it down, and we ended up making a demo called Happy Doomsday, which got released a year ago or something like that.
And is it like it is ironic, but do you really think that we are short to the doomsday, that the world is going down, or do you think we still have chances to change things for this world?
I think we are pretty apocalyptic in some way. Like it's more like a joke for sure, but we want to celebrate while we still can. Like you don't know when it's gonna end. Like I love the title that you should live like it's your last day on Earth, because one day it will be, and that's Steve Jobs said that. So, and it's pretty good like title, because that's true that one day it's gonna be your last day on Earth. So on our last day on Earth, so we should live like that.
I also think we are not the right people to ask about doomsdays or end of the world, because like we said, we have a dark sense of humor and we're depressing as fuck. But also, like you need to remember that, or people need to remember that we are entertainers. We're the dance orchestra of Titanic that keeps playing the songs as the ship goes down. Like that's who we are. We're just making sure that everybody has fun. And if the doomsday, it might come, it might not. But if it's coming, then at least we're here to make sure everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool way to see it. And let's talk a little bit about artwork. I think this is something important for metal bands nowadays, as well as it was in the past. And the last cover was you all having the heads down and holding it. The new cover just shows some a visitor.
It's Morgenstern. It's the I tried to say it in German, but it's the German word Morgenstern, or how do you say it? Like something like that.
Morgenstern, yes.
Yeah. So we actually got inspired about the artwork and the whole concept of the visual arts in the, sorry about that noise, but we were in Berlin. We had a day off. We were on tour with Electric Cowboy, and we were staying next to this club in Berlin for a night. And we saw that there was like a big underground party going on, like a lot of red lights, and people were in and having a good time. So we wanted to capture that visual experience to the album. And we started to think about what could be the one object that describes the feeling perfectly. And I came up with the idea that it could be the ball with the spikes. And we were like, what is that? We Googled that, and we found out that it's like from the, what was the word for the old days, like
medieval
Mittelalter in Germany.
Medieval weapon called Morgenstern. And we were like, sorry about my German, it's not that good yet.
No problem.
But we were like, okay, this is from the Middle Europe and it's super old. We were like, okay, this is cool if we make it like a modern version out of that. And that's in the album cover. It's gonna be probably on the live shows as well. We don't know yet, but yeah, we wanted to have that as a like the main character of the album cover and the art in general.
Yeah, and it was also a time when like a lot of people knew us as the Middle Finger Band because of our song Dark Side, and everybody, you're the Middle Finger Band, and we were like, we already knew that we want to go heavier, and we were like, what's a heavier version of a middle finger? And the Morgenstern, it was a natural evolution. Like we're not waving middle fingers anymore. We have medieval weapons now.
Funny thing is, somewhere in my back here, as I'm a big fantasy fan, I have some of those Morgensterns as well. I bought it on a fair for fantasy stuff, and the guy who sold it thought it was, as he ordered, it was like a small letter pusher, and then he had this big things and didn't know what to do with it. And I was one of the guys buying this. I really love the weapon. I'm totally pacifist, but I love ancient weapons like this as a fantasy guy. Yeah. But I think you don't have any connection to medieval stuff.
No. It just looks so cool.
No, not really. Like, well, I'm a huge fantasy fan as well. Like, I watch Game of Thrones 2 times a year, and maybe the Lord of the Rings movies even more. But like, I don't think you hear that a lot in Blind Channel. We're not that kind of a band, I think.
But there are other metal bands that totally focus on this stuff, but I think you are more modern in your ways.
Yeah, we are.
Cool. And let's look at the album as a whole. So it's heavier, you have new artwork and stuff. And what is the main thing you are really proud of regarding this record?
I think the main thing we're really proud of is that we actually got it done, because we did 200 shows at the same time. We were like, it was crazy last summer, especially when we were in the studio recording and doing the production for the album, like nailing everything down. And we did festival shows all over Europe. So basically we would be in the studio when we were looking at the clock, like, okay, guys, now we really have to go. And then we go to the airport. We do maybe 3 shows all around Europe. We've been awake for 72 hours, and then we fly back to Finland and go immediately back to the studio to continue this work. Like, thank God we did the songwriting before that, because like if there was no possibility to write songs at the same time. And last summer was just crazy. Now when people ask like, when did you guys have time to make this album? We're like, we have no idea.
If you think about it, it's really awesome album. So when did you do the cool stuff? That's the question. Everyone can do an album on tour, but I think in most cases it's like, okay, we have to write. And this one is really, it's on the point. So
cool, thanks.
And so now you're, I wanted to ask you, but you mentioned it as well. You want to be bigger outside of Finland. In Finland, I think you are rather big. Everyone knows you. Yeah.
We are, well, for example, we play in Nokia Arena, which is the biggest arena in Finland, like the ice hockey arena. So we have a headline show there, and that's how big we are in Finland. So we kind of feel that Finland is so small that we already kind of made it here. So we want to bring the party to Middle Europe and UK and USA and Japan and all those places. And we know that if we want to make that happen, we should go there a lot. And we should kind of prioritize going to Germany, going to UK, USA all the time. And it's a lot of work, but you only live once and we're still young. So we got to grind. So yeah, you're right.
I think you can do it. And I think, for example, touring with Eskimo Callboy somehow helped you to get attention, for example, in Germany.
We got tons of fans and also everywhere else. But in Germany, like that was the biggest impact for us, that we got to play arenas just before them and everyone fell in love with us. And for me, Germany is, I think, the #1 favorite country in the world, because the audience is so fucking good. Every time we play there, it's like, this is the best party in the planet. And I just love the festivals. I love the food, beer, everything. And I'm a huge Germany fan myself.
Well, that's nice. As many Germans are Scandinavian fans, we are Germany fans. So it's somehow funny. It's always like the far place is a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, there's a connection. And I think all the Finnish metal bands do super well in Germany. Like every single metal band and rock band from Finland does super well in Germany. And we enjoy it. It's like we feel like home when we come to Germany. Every time we
Germany is beautiful, and it's one of our favorite countries to tour. And it's also one of the first places that like fell in love with us. Like we did shows in other places in Europe as well. And the first thing we ever got like of something like a fan base was Germany. So it's really nice.
Great. And you're coming on tour. Maybe you can mention some of the spots or countries you're going now in March, April, May, I think. Something where people can join you.
UK, Spain, Italy, France, Norway, Sweden, Austria, Switzerland. I'm trying to remember everything, but that's like the whole
really a lot.
I mean, there's
lots of places.
Yeah, some countries doesn't fit in, but like in general, I think it's over 15 countries. So yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, so hopefully we meet somewhere then. And for now, I think we have enough, and people can check out the rest themselves. Looking forward to the album. It's really cool. I can mention it. And maybe one last question. So you mentioned you love German food. So maybe you can tell what's the best food and the best drink in Germany you ever had.
Currywurst, a big beer. Das Boot.
Das gut.
Great. So thank you for the nice talk. It was really fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You guys outside, thank you for watching. Check out Blind Channel, really cool band. And the upcoming album, Exit Emotions. And yeah, see ya. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye.